November 28, 2022. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kent? Here. Mrs. Stevens? Here. Mr. Santo?
Here. Welcome, everybody. We'll do roll call here, and we have our senior director, the senior center, Jim Henshaw. We have our park supervisor, Todd Schaefer, our fire chief, Andy Frost III, our police department, police chief, he'll be in a little bit, is Bob Gavalier, our zoning inspector, Darren Crivelli, our township administrator and road superintendent is Mike Dockery. It's all the way up to my right. To my left is our fiscal officer, Lori Wolf. To my right is Austintown Township Trustee Steve Kent. To my left is Austintown Trustee Robert Santos. And I am Austintown Township Trustee Monica Devers. And motion to approve minutes of regular meeting of November 14, 2022.
Second.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
Mr. Santo?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
At this time, we'll have the administrator report.
I have just a comment on the sales tax money. I know you folks have been at a meeting about the sales tax money for resurfacing. I know there was an email sent out today where they want to schedule another meeting for Wednesday, which I can go to. But this is probably for Lori's benefit more than yours. We got a letter from the county, and they're telling us next year we'll have $776,000 available for eligible project, which in our case will be a resurfacing project. In a future meeting, you will see a memo of understanding that also was sent to us for the board to approve with the county as far as how the projects and the money will be, how this project will work. I know one of the things that people are somewhat upset about is the fact that it is a reimbursable, it's going to be a reimbursable type project. That is, we will have to pay the vendor first and then submit all our paperwork to the county to be reimbursed through this money for our expenses. And this is nothing new. We've done these type of projects before that are reimbursable. So it's just a larger amount of money that, we'll be able to handle it though. So when you see this MOU in the future, and I don't even know when in the future because there doesn't seem to be any hurry to get it done. Plus I do want to see what they have to say Wednesday night at the meeting as far as the MOU is concerned.
That's all you have?
That's all I have.
Okay. And since the police department isn't here, we'll have Chief Frost.
We took the new truck today to get some of the things mounted on it, so we hope to have that in service in the next 2 weeks. Again, everything was delayed out because of the wheel seal that needed replaced before we received it. So that's going well, and we are right now running about 28 to 29 emergencies a day. It has been extremely busy, especially on the EMS side. There's a lot going on, and again, the hospitals are overwhelmed at this time as well. So just adding to everything, the St. E's has, in the past, we've had a hard time getting them to the table to have discussions on helping us out and try and get our ambulances back out sooner than they were. But the president of the hospital has been involved lately, and I just want to say that they have really done a good job in the past 2 weeks making things happen for us and getting ambulances back on the road much quicker. So again, we're talking about the offloading times at the hospital. So I appreciate St. stepping up and doing that. They've done it for the whole county, and it's things are really starting to work much better. So that's we've been in this dilemma for a while, but it's really starting to help and turn things around. So extremely happy about that. And just right now, we are having a big problem with illness within our department. Have a bunch of guys out due to sickness. And again, it's okay, it's just what's hitting us hard right now. So we'll get through it like everybody else, but we're not immune to it, so it's hitting hard right now.
On a little bit better of a note, can you talk to us about the tree lighting happening?
Yes, Thursday night, the tree lighting will happen. It's a 7 o'clock start time, and Santa will come right after that 7 o'clock after remarks are done. I think the band and the choir is starting at about 6:45. So we're looking forward to it. We're hoping for a good turnout, and it will be this Thursday. Junior Women's League are helping out with refreshments and other arrangements, and Santa will be there.
Go ahead.
Can you give the audience maybe some safety tips since we're walking into Christmas and lighting and trees and...
So the one thing that's really helping us out a bunch is the use of LED lights because they don't have any heat. So we're actually seeing a lot of decrease in tree fires and decoration fires that we've had in the past. So again, anytime anybody can use LED lights, we highly recommend it. And again, keep the trees watered. We always have an issue with that, and with candles. Those are our big deals. And for those that like to use the old-fashioned incandescent lights that bubble and all of those things happen because they create heat and they create fires. So just keep a good eye on everything, keep the trees watered, and good common sense goes a long way.
Thanks, Chief.
You have anything? Okay, zoning.
I would ask the board to declare the following properties a nuisance under Ohio Code 505.87, 94 Benton Avenue, 3894 Cumberland Drive, and 3814 Nottingham Drive, just off the jump in the bridge.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Santa?
Yes.
Mr. Peck?
Yes.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
Can I ask the board to approve a motion to find the following motor vehicle use all the following criteria: 3 model years or older, currently inoperable, extensively damaged, including but not limited to any of the following: missing wheels, tire, engine, or transmission. Declare the following vehicle public nuisance under Ohio Revised Code 505.871, and order removal of junk vehicles within 14 days after notice is served to the property owner. 3808 Edinburgh Drive, an inoperable Chevrolet Tracker with an expired temporary tag M652435, parked in exposed manner within the driveway.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Peck?
Yes.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
Mr. Santa?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have for the board.
Does the board have anything for Darren?
How's Chipotle coming?
Chipotle's moving along. The Board of Appeals, something pretty cool, I think. When I first talked to them, I don't know, probably over a year ago, I asked them, are you going to have a high-rise sign? And they weren't sure. But it's a highway business. We've got 1 million of them down there, and they were buying property that was the front of the old Knights Inn, which has a high-rise sign that's in disrepair. But that high-rise sign, the location of it on the property was not part of the sale. Well, we had some discussions, so they did move forward and they leased it, and they went to the Board of Appeals, and the board approved that they're going to refurbish that. So they will have a high-rise sign, and more importantly, they're refurbishing one that doesn't look aesthetically attractive right now. So that sign is just right on 76 Drive, and when it opens, access will come from 76 Drive, it will not come from State Route 46. The state refused to give them a curb cut permit because they could access 76 Drive. Then there's obviously the light at 76 Drive. But I'm glad to see that they will repurpose that sign. They've leased it. It's, we'll see what happens if the parcel to the east develops. You could still put another sign below the Chipotle sign. So we'll see what happens. But that's a good thing because that sign looks bad. And across the street, that property sold, I think, over the summer. So hopefully we'll see some action there because they've got a high-rise sign. Those high-rise signs, those are expensive signs. You're looking well into the 6 figures. So it's good to see one that's going to be repurposed for a new business.
Great. What about our Walmart?
I got a hearing on that.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the new places.
The car, there's going to be a car wash and an oil change place, Take 5.
So we need one.
Yeah.
We need a car wash.
Yeah. Supposedly they do market studies, and when I met with them, Last I didn't meet with them, it was all phone conversation, but I told them there was, the mod wash was under construction. And I just gave them a little inventory of what we already have, but, you know, they're free to make their own decisions. And, yeah, I don't have an opening date. I think they want to be open by the, probably beginning of the year.
Yeah, no one to close the room.
Okay, Parks Department. Todd?
All I have is, next Monday, we'll start collecting Christmas trees for ODNR, which will be in the local ponds and lakes for fish habitat. We'll take those starting December 4th, I believe, and we will go through the end of January. Just follow the signs out at the main park. We'll have a section roped off in the main parking lot that you can put your trees, and ODNR comes out once a week and takes them away.
We actually get people to drop them off December 4th?
I've actually had them earlier than December 4th.
Okay,
I think it's probably places that are selling them
and they're not nice.
right, so they just bring them up and drop them off. But yeah, you'd be surprised how many we get before Christmas.
Do you have anything for Todd? Either of you have anything for Todd? Okay. Our senior center, how are you down there?
Oh, we're doing wonderfully. We, our new afternoon, we've added a number of aerobic and yoga classes in the afternoon, and they're taking off very well. The people who play bingo are actually sticking around to work off a few extra pounds or whatever they have to do, and that's working out very well. I'd like to compliment Sheriff Jerry Green and Bob Schaefer for the work they do every year. They put together a Thanksgiving dinner for the people who can't get out or don't have family or what have you. They always do more than 400 meals, and we're the staging area. They put the meals together at the senior center, and well, some of you people were there helping. And with the help of Direction Home, they did a fantastic job again this year, so looking forward to next year. But it's very well appreciated in the community, and I think it's a big asset for our sheriff's department.
That's great.
That's it.
Okay, Lori?
I don't have anything new, just everything we have on the agenda today. Gonna start working on closing out the year, so. I'm looking at December already, ready for the next year.
Not ready yet. Okay. Motion to approve October report submitted to the board at the November 14th, 2022 meeting per agenda.
So moved. Second.
Mrs. Hebert?
Yes.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mr. Kenny?
Yes.
We are going to start on some new business today, and we're going to discuss, open discussion for, it's called Innovative Readiness Training. It's IRT program. The deadline is September 23rd for the 2024-25 year to submit anything on this. And Robert Santos is going to discuss this, and we're going to go on, and we're going to all discuss it together here.
So we're not voting on whether or not we're going to do this or not. Can't speak, obviously we'll do that later on, but I'm pretty sure hopefully it goes our way. We just wanted to bring it up to you guys. Obviously the open meeting is meant so you guys can see our decision-making process and what we would like to see done within our community. For those who don't know, the IRT program is something the military offers. So we have reservists that work 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year. They have to log so many hours in their primary duty to keep their certificates. So they have an IRT program which has a vast amount of avenues that we can definitely reach from. They provide that service for free. Obviously, we have to fork some of the money. In essence, it's free because we don't have to pay for their labor, we don't have to pay for their man hours, but we obviously are using their equipment, so they want some sort of kind of compensation for it. So the deadline for it is September, and they are a year out. My focus, and I know Monica brought something up earlier, there's other avenues, but my focus was more for the medical, dental, and optometry work. So what they'll do is, if everything goes according to plans, they'll come in here with their Armada, and they'll give free medical, dentistry, optometry work, or any of the other programs if we so decide to add it on there, 100% free for the residents. We all understand that we do have some low-income areas here in Austintown, and some, obviously, medical is a huge, huge issue right now. It's hard to get it, it's hard to pay for it. A lot of people are just staying at home sick because they don't want to fork that bill over at the hospital. They're breaking their arms or whatever the case is, I think this is something that I would like to see move forward. In casual conversation, I have talked to individuals I just noticed, normal conversation, and they are all for it. I do know several businesses that are willing to donate. We can find grants for this. Again, we have a year, all right, to do this, so that we have time to look into how we can fund this appropriately. I'm not too sure if we can use the Westchester Fund or not. That's something that we would definitely be looking into, but I didn't know if you guys had questions on that or not, but obviously dealing with the medical issue, I know Chief Frost is dealing with, but I think this definitely could, probably in a small way, help out a little bit, because you won't get the call for, a paper cut and then be forced to take them, but they would definitely be able to come in and take care of some issues. I don't know if you have had any calls or not for their wisdom teeth or whatever hurting, I'm not pretty sure.
We get calls for everything.
For everything. But I mean, this is just one, if we can just help one person out, I think it's definitely beneficial. I've seen this used, I've done research, and I've talked to the people up in Vienna, just because half the people I know are up there. But they have seen this is a nationwide thing, and it definitely helps thousands, especially with the population of over 36,000 residents. I think we definitely can help hundreds upon hundreds of our residents. I'm hoping that we can get other surrounding communities to partner with us, because obviously we're not checking IDs, they don't do that, so we're not turning anyone away. So I'm hoping that Youngstown will return my phone call, because I'm sure that with us gearing it towards that section, they're more likely we're going to get some residents from there as well, and I think it would be a definitely prime opportunity to help out all the residents.
Can I ask questions now?
Yeah, absolutely. 5. That's an answer.
Okay, you say it's 100% free. We would have the cost of the material and the resources. Material, you don't know, like, what the cost would actually cost Austintown, though? Because it's not 100%
Well,
free.
we can either obviously we want it to be a shared cost in the aspect where they're providing the labor, they're providing the equipment. Obviously, they're using their tools, some of the tools can't be repurposed, so if they use, for example, if you give someone a flu shot,
Or Q-tip.
or something,
Okay,
we have to obviously compensate them for that. We could fork the entire bill, which I don't think that we would have to.
I'm just
think-
wondering,
yeah.
because when you said 100% free, I'm
100%
thinking
free for the
100%
residents,
free
right.
for all of us.
But it's 100% free for the resident that's going to get the service. They do not have to pay a dime.
And then how long is this last? Like, is it just a weekend, or is it a week, 2 weeks, is it a
Most,
day?
if you can do it for one day, obviously the pattern has been a weekend. I was foreseeing possibly a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if not a Saturday, Sunday deal. Obviously, these are things that we can definitely discuss as we get closer to the deadline. I would like to start, I hate procrastinating. I always like to start sooner. So if we, for example, if we had everything all done and we just submitted the application and then they return it to us and they say, hey, you guys forgot X, Y, Z. We have plenty of time to get X, Y, Z, so that way we can make this work. I'd rather not wait till September, and then here we are playing back and forth with the military. I mean, I don't know how many veterans are in this office or in this room, but they move slow. I'm sorry, they do, at least the administration side, not the MPs or whatever Mr. Schaefer was, which we don't talk about him because he's not a Marine,
Okay, so we're here to discuss all this.
So, Mike, if we would do something of this sort, would we be able to do a mutual aid, basically contract or agreement with outside cities or townships?
Yes, yeah. Mhm.
So that, they would, we'd try to split the cost fairly.
Yeah, we can
So we
do that.
wouldn't burden
What did you
Austintown.
call it?
It'd be like a mutual aid agreement on the cities and the townships, so we don't absorb all the costs, so that they would be able to say, okay, the total bill's $60,000, and there's 5 communities, then we would split 5 places.
Okay, when we were discussing this, of course, this was something that you brought up, and I read on it. There's other things that they do, like fix roads, culverts, and stuff like that. If we did that, say in 2024, can we redo it and say, okay, let's have them come out the following year or the year later? Or is there a certain amount of time, if we use it for medical this time and then maybe next time for the roads
You
or the
can use it every
culverts?
year if you want.
Okay,
Obviously, it's all about.
I mean, I read up on it because you wanted to discuss it, so.
It's as if the Air Force Base and the reserves, it's not just coming from Vienna, it'll come from the reserve base over in Pittsburgh, or south in Pittsburgh, Akron, all over, obviously. they would get activated and they would be there for this actual event, but we can use it every year we want. I mean, obviously, that's gonna be a huge undertaking, but if we decide to do medical this year, then like some sort of road or culvert or even, building infrastructure, whatever the case is,
Yeah.
we can.
Okay,
It all depends on the manpower.
I'm
that
just
they have.
wondering, I was just wondering, we use that, we're not allowed to do it again for another 5 years or
No,
something?
no, there's no,
And I'm just gonna break up a discussion because our chief is here and I would wanna know if he has anything to talk to us about today. Mr. Gavalier?
The only thing I'd like to add is coming to Christmas season, holiday season here, and it's a season of opportunity for the people to still, and so I just want everybody to be aware when they go shopping at the parking lighted area, try to go with 2 people. Don't carry your purse, if you can just carry a wallet inside your coat or whatever. If you do buy gifts, make sure you put them in your car, lock them in your trunk, not inside the car. Don't leave any valuables in the cars that they can see in that, and it's
Like your purse, don't let them be able to see your purse or you in your car.
a lot of common sense.
Yes, yes. You have anything else for us, anything?
No.
Does either one of the board members wanna?
I
Okay.
have a question,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, I
If you don't
understand.
mind, Chief, I'm sure we all know the answer, I just want to ask it because this was brought up to me this weekend. If I owned a business and it had a gate, and somebody, Joe Schmo, parks in front of my gate, and I can't get a hold of them, am I legally allowed to call a tow company and have them tow it at the owner's expense? If there's a sign on my gate?
Most of the towing companies aren't gonna tow it unless it's a police tow,
Okay.
because they won't take the responsibility of towing the car out of there. We've had this, and maybe they will, but, you know, we had discussions before. Is it on private property or on a roadway? Is the car on the roadway?
I was informed when I saw it, it was not, it's the gate area across the street from Shots. The Duts or Dirts are us cleaning, whatever, I guess, when they're busy, Shots is busy, some of the residents park all along the road and they block the individual's access to his business, can't get in. How can he get in access? Would he have to call you? Would you guys tow it
Call
then?
us.
So you guys would
We
take
would
care
go
of it?
down there, we would go, actually probably go when the shots ask who's got their car over there to get it out of there, or, you know, if it's interfering with the business, you know, we can actually tow it then. So best bet to call us.
Okay. That's what I thought, I just wanted, I told the resident I would bring it up in the meeting. So,
We can go back to discussion now. Do we have anything else to discuss on the IRT?
So with the board's not approval to move forward, but would you guys be good if I started getting soft yeses from businesses and other individuals that would be willing to donate if we so decide to go through with this?
I'm really interested on how much this is gonna cost us personally. I mean, if we get another person involved in it, I mean, I think it's great. I think it's great that we would be helping people that need medical attention. But we also need to know where we stand. Are we standing like $10,000? Are we standing $50,000? Are we standing, you know, I just want an idea. And
Well,
then
I understand
I'm
that.
not
That's-
saying I'm not interested, because that would be wrong. I'm
That-
saying
That
I'd
would
like
all
it.
depend on what type of services that we want to do, and
So-
when we get the application, which is online, we can print it off, we
Okay.
can look at it, we can fine tune what exactly we want to do, and when and where we want to do it, and then we can contact, I have the point of contact for the gentleman's name, it's actually in my folder in there, but we can kind of get a rough estimate on what they normally would like to see handed over to them, so that way we know where and what we want to reach for.
Brenda, you raised your hand. You wanted to say something?
Yes, Youngstown used this exact grant to clean up all the houses that were dilapidated in Youngstown. And they used all their equipment and all the people to do this, and they got to use their equipment and practice with all this stuff, and didn't cost the city anything. But that was nothing out of their pocket as far as like giving medications or,
Yeah,
anything that way. But that was cleaning up a whole lot of the city that,
They have that too,
wouldn't
yes.
have otherwise gotten done.
I mean, that's what I was looking into. There was other things. He wants to do the medical one. I'm just thinking, okay, insulin, you know, insulin, sometimes it's $1,000 for someone's insulin.
True.
So I don't know, you know, are they gonna hand out insulin, or can we just,
Well,
you know,
that-
okay, we're gonna just do this, this, and this. and
That's the benefit, and I'm not trying to sound cocky or arrogant or self-centered of the military. And not to sound rude, but I use my brother as an example. His son is allergic to peanuts. It cost me $300 for EpiPen. It cost me $20 to buy my son's EpiPen. So the veterans, like honestly, the military, we have like, we get it at
So
cost.
if they know that, you know, how many people we're gonna get that want an EpiPen, and then we're gonna have thousands of EpiPens, and it's $20, so it's gonna, I mean, I don't wanna sound negative on this,
Well, that's,
because
well, I understand, that's what the
I'm not a
discussion is
negative
for.
person
So
on this, because
the-
I would want everybody's health, health is most
No, I get
important
it.
thing.
That's why we have to start the discussion, so we can get these questions that I may not have thought of, or someone else may not have thought of, and then we can write them down, and then we have time until September to get these questions answered before we move forward with this project.
So then before we would ever say yes to anything, we would have to.
Yeah,
get these
I don't wanna,
questions
I definitely don't wanna jump into a project without knowing everything.
Yeah, there was somebody else that just raised their hand. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, just curious to expand, this would be something that'd be here once a month, twice a month, at a
It would
set
be-
location?
It would be one time.
time.
One time only?
deal, yes, for every
Okay.
time we apply for it. And if it gets approved, it would be like, let's say we chose this weekend, and everything was done, everything was golden, it got the stamp of approval, everything was fine, done, it would just be this weekend, and then that's it. And then, or whatever, one day, a weekend, however we wanna set this process out, whether it's one day or a whole weekend.
It's one
It would
time
just be
only.
One time only, and then we would have to go through the whole process again if we so decide to do so.
Any other question? Anybody else want to speak or have a question on this? Or anybody? Are we good? We can move to the next discussion. Discussion for potential purchase of property for Austintown for Community Center. Go ahead, Robert.
All right, so everyone knows during my campaign, I definitely preached I would love to see a community center here in Austintown. There is a lot of questions that you get answered. Again, everything has to start with a discussion. So obviously, before we can request state funds, before we can request any type of grants or anything like that, the first step is we have to own the property and we have to fork it out of our own pocket. The question is, how are we gonna be able to do it without causing a hardship for the residents and taking away from a funding that could be helped a different area of Austintown that has been neglected for so long. So, correct me if I'm wrong, I talked to Lori and Mike, I believe we can use the Westchester funds to purchase the property. Correct, or will we need to get confirmation from the prosecutor for that?
As long as you have a recreational aspect to the community center, you can use
We
it.
can. And I do know, looking at Ohio Revised Code, we can take it basically on a 30-year mortgage. But I would love to talk about possibly contacting individuals that have a prime location for these properties and just get an idea on how much, I said idea, my accent kicked in, of how much the property could potentially be, so that way we can move forward and see, hey, how can it be funded, what's going on. And now I do understand it's a risk on our end, kind of like a faith, but to me, I personally feel it's not like purchasing a vehicle, you drive it off a lot, and it's not only worth like a tenth of what it actually was, its property. It goes up and down, I don't see it losing value, so worst case scenario, we can just sell it and, if anything, make a profit, but obviously I'm hoping that we can do a community center.
Am I able to speak now? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making
Yeah.
sure, let me make sure you're done. As when I campaigned, I was okay with a community center, but I also think that we need a new township building. So and Robert has said that that can go in with community center, but my biggest thing is YMCA in 2018, we were supposed to have a YMCA. Swim, everything. Supposed to be a nice YMCA. Austintown talked about it galore. Everybody was talking about it. Everywhere you went, we're gonna get a Y, we're gonna get a Y. I looked up why we didn't get a Y, and it was a market study done. And the market study advised against it, stating that there wasn't enough money. They couldn't get enough money into the YMCA from Austintown to support it. So my question is, if we would get one, which I'm not against it, I'd love one. Okay, if we get one, can we support it? And in YMCA, the one in Boardman and the one down in Youngstown, had 17,000 people that went to it from Austintown, and that's it, 17,000. We have 38,000 people here. Okay, but only 17,000 joined it, but weren't the full-time joiners. So this is where I have an issue with it. I think it's a big a big thing to do when they had a market study already done. YMCA, a big place, two of them do very, very well, and they decided not to come to Austintown. Their marketing advised them not to come.
You know how much YMCA charges a family of 5? $180. I ain't paying $180.
But there's people, there were 17,000 people that did, and they still don't think it's marketable enough.
How much do you pay? If you don't mind me asking. What's that?
I paid $46.
So you paid $46?
For where, honey?
For
For the Y.
For the
which
wine?
one?
I can go to Boardman or downtown.
And you can also go all over the United States too.
Anywhere I want, you're right.
Yes.
Well, I guess I'm getting ripped off.
I paid $46.
Okay. So,
Robert, just real quick, with the Westchester Fund, if we purchase the property with the Westchester Fund, we don't get the capital money for the building. Are we still able to pay it with the Westchester Fund? That would be my issue, or the question of it, because, you know, right off the rip, we would be going forward, you know, but if we got denied from the capital budget to obtain the money from the capital, how do we continue to pay?
Well, we have grants that we can apply for that helps us with that. I doubt the state legislators would not assist in getting us the state funds. I've talked to them, they're all for it. I've talked to Youngstown and Warren Regional Chambers, they're excited about it. I gave my whole entire A to Z plan, what I want done. I understand that we'll have to reverse engineer the entire thing and start with phase 1. I'm not about just flipping on the switch and having the entire end game. I understand it's gonna be about a 5, maybe 10 year, who knows how long process, but again, that's what these conversations are for. But as for purchasing and having people sign up, there's not one person I talked to that said they weren't pay their 40, 50, whatever amounts of dollars it is for. I can get into what I want to see in the end. That would be like a whole hour conversation, which I don't mind getting into it. I don't mind staying here talking about it. But there's so much amenities that you can add to this that are not accessible to other individuals. For example, my son, he's 13 and he's chunky. He's getting fat. He can't go to a gym by himself at all. He can't. I have to be present. Guess what? He can't because he's under the age. He can't do it. So I can't really take him to the YMCA in Boardman. Well, if I'm working, at least this way he can take the bus from school to the YMCA. That's just one small piece of it. But I really think it's beneficial for the people and the residents of Austintown. And I'm pretty OCD and persistent, and I definitely don't want to do something that's going to take away funds from a pot of funds that could be used for something else. I definitely want to make sure, I mean, hey, if it doesn't work out, I'll pay the mortgage.
Well, I mean, we did discuss a little bit of your idea and moving forward with it. The Niles Wellness Center, their general, just to use their tracks 35, their fitness, but for an individual is 140 and a family for a fitness is 240. I mean, that's comparable to the Y and, you know, I guess a big enough place that we would use. So, I mean, that's a lot of money, period.
I mean, we're here to all talk about it, and then we also have Planet Fitness here, and we have other gyms here that are businesses. And they look forward to, I mean, if another fitness place came in, of course, that might possibly hurt them, I don't know, but if you like to go to Planet Fitness, it's only $10 a month. Yes, they don't have a pool, they don't have stuff like that, but we do have it in Austintown, people. We have small businesses that have equipment to get physically fit. We have 3 of them, I know, in this Austintown area. It's just financially at this time, I don't know. I mean, it's open up for discussion. I'm not putting it on the board. There you go. You know, if people want to come up and give us ideas, that's why we're here discussing it today. And these are some of the reasons why I'm against it. If YMCA in 2018 marketing company said that it wasn't profitable, I'm worried about it not being profitable for Austintown.
well, like I said, this needs to be discussion, so if I need to do the legwork, I'll be more willing to do the legwork and come back with you guys with better numbers, I'll be more happy to do that. So if we want to table this and I can get all the resources together and then get back to you, and that's what this is for. So I'm definitely not one for spending money that's gonna cause a hindrance in Austintown, so, but I'll definitely,
We could definitely bring it back for discussion, that's what we're here for discussion. I don't have a problem bringing it back for discussion and having more numbers and.
yeah, I didn't want to vote, yes, I just wanted to,
Yeah,
Open this
yeah,
up.
it was just open for discussion, and that's what we did. Do you have any other discussion, anybody else? Anything else?
I have a question. Could a committee be formed
yes.
to talk about this? Grab, each one of us has a different specialty,
Of-
different
of-
resources.
Of all the community centers that I've researched and talked to, that actually got it done in their community, they actually had a committee formed. That way, it's like, hey, can you go talk to Akron, can you go talk to Mercy Health, can you go talk to Hollywood Gaming or whoever to see if you want to assist in getting this growing. We definitely can do that. In fact, I would love to do that.
Didn't the city of Campbell just open something a year
Yes, and they got
ago?
over $600,000 from the state.
Was a city, it's a difference.
Yeah.
A city and a township is different, yes.
How are they different for funding? Is that the difference?
The townships last. Last for the
But
money.
it was a grant, it was a capital budget request that they requested. So, and they had partners with, I believe, Akron Children's Hospital partnered with them as well, so they got a lot of funding from them as well.
In Southwood.
And was it Southwood, was it both?
Yes, it was
Southwood?
both.
Okay,
I was at a meeting for that.
okay. So yeah, those are things that we can do, and they definitely would assist as well. So.
Awesome.
Everybody okay? Can I move on? Okay. Ohio Division of Liquor Control, whether to request a hearing on a notice of legislative authority to approve the new permit to Tamarkin Company, DBA Get Go Austintown, 3132, 5163 Mahoning Avenue, Austintown Township, Austintown, Ohio, 44515. Permit number 879-069-00665. Permit class D2.
No objection.
No objections, it says.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Santo?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mrs. Jeevers?
Yes. Okay, now it's time for public response, and we'll do that on camera. Anybody right now on camera would like to make a public response? On camera, anyone? Okay, off camera? Anybody want to make a public response? Off camera. Okay, now it's remarks from the board. And we'll go to Steve first.
Right. I just, again, what Chief Frost said, December 1st at 6:45, the Christmas tree lighting at Station 2 down in Wycliffe Circle. We want to thank the Junior Women's League again for all the things that they do for our community. It's a great event. It's a good time to get out and enjoy our community with friends and family. Good luck to our winter sport athletes at Fitch, and good luck to the Canfield Cardinals and the spring South Range Raiders in the next week's championship game.
All right.
Honestly, we had a quick 2 weeks with Thanksgiving, so hopefully we had a great Thanksgiving. Or if you guys don't celebrate, you guys had a great holiday week or some time off. I know I'm full, probably gained like 15 pounds, so I gotta work that off. I hope to see you guys December 1st. Definitely be a fun, as it always is. Definitely want to give kudos to Joyce Koganey, who pretty much set this up, the Juniors Women's League, Chief Frost and his guys in the park for setting up all the lights, and it looks nice, so I definitely appreciate it, and hope to see you guys all there.
Well, I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. I just do have one remark, because last meeting was a little discussion on the signs, and I have gotten 3 donations, and that's almost half of what we need to pay the signs in full. So the community will not be paying full for the signs as of now.
So we have all the money?
We have 3. I said they
Okay.
will not be paying for them all in full.
But
Right
we
now I
got
have
since
3.
July to get it.
I have till when, honey? July.
I just be careful with the road you're going down, ma'am.
Okay. You want to speak, and then I can finish.
No, you're right, I sincerely apologize for interrupting.
Okay, so I do have some donations, yes, so the community will not pay for them all, so just so you know that. That's all I'm gonna say now. I hope everybody has a nice Thanksgiving, and I hope to see you December 1st at the Christmas tree lighting, we'll be there. I also wanna say one more thing. When we motion to recess for executive session, we come back out here. I just want you to know, if we say anything, we come back out here to adjourn. So, I just want you guys to know that. So we have, we talked to everybody, we have a session, and then we come back out and close it, to adjourn it.
So if you guys want to go out to your cars, let us know before you leave.
You're
We'll come
out your
get you and
car?
say, okay, we're gonna go back
Because
in
we may
session.
or may not still have to vote on something afterwards, depending on what happens.
Usually we don't vote on much when we come back. We discuss everything with these fine people up here. We have a discussion with them, and then if we have to vote on something, we may or may not vote on something. Pretty much just want you to know that we do come back out here. Okay, motion to recess to executive session for the following. Go ahead.
So,
Second.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mr. Peck?
yes.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.